So I have been dealing with Epstein-Barr, which sometimes morphs as mono, since my early 30s. And lately, it just I know how to make it I know how to clear it so that I'm functional. Get it dormant. But lately, it just keeps pounding me. And some days I get so tired, I just want to cry because I also get I think the virus speaks in a way that I feel very apathetic when it's really active. And it's just really hindering my, everything moving forward. Like I said, I can get it so that there's some days I'm, totally functional, but other days I'm just dragging and miserable. And I really don't know what else to do. I've worked it for 20 some years now, and I'm at a loss.
All right, and certainly so. A challenge in the physical plane, or it is. We would suggest that the virus is activated when there are energies at play in the physical plane, and as being as sensitive as you are to energies, it's important to more assertively to clear them as you sense them. To be open to energy is a gift, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It allows you so much of who you are to contribute from a place of empathy and intuition. And yet there is that need this time in the chaos. It's being activated because of the chaos in the world. And as you are so aware of it, it is taxing, because as you are wanting to stabilize yourself and yet be of help, of service, it really is, as you've learned, important to put yourself first.
Yeah.
And there is a sense that, well, I can only do that so much, and I just need to get back to helping others. However, you see the conundrum, given that the physical plane is the illusion, which feels very real at the time that there's pain or suffering or tension. And yet, when you take the time to really make yourself the priority, and this is a spiritual imperative, isn't it? It's just why you are here. Many of you here, you are here as mapmaker magicians, bringing in this new world. And you've already done the work. You've already completed the process of assuring that future. And so, what is next? It isn't to stop. It is to go enjoy your creation. It is to explore and work with the new energies and open your perceptions and take time to dream and imagine. And when you get weighed down is when you allow that outer world to be more important. And it is challenging because, of course, in your love for others, you want to be there for them. You want to be of service, and many rely upon you. However, what you find when you do take the time for yourself to connect, to refuel, to recharge, that you do have more to give, don't you?
Yeah.
And it is really that message that your body's giving you, is to assertively recharge. At the hint of tiredness or oversensitivity to energies, for a lack of a better explanation, to pull back, to set that boundary and say, oh, okay, there's a lot going on out there, that needs interpreting or managing or balancing, but I'm no longer alone in this. When I take time to connect with my higher self, with my soul, when I invite God and Goddess to flow energy through me into the world to manage those energies, then I'm stronger. Then I'm able to maintain my energy for longer periods. And we know that you are already doing so much of that. And we just want to let you know it's okay to do that more. To say, this is for me. This is my body's telling me when I'm on track. And so to listen to those whispers. Because as you have said, when you have a bad day, it's really bad. But it's your body saying, okay, we're out of balance here. We really need to recharge. And so as you look to those things you are doing that you know make you feel good, to do more of them. And most importantly, to take that time to dream, to take that time in the imaginal realm, to bring in those energies. It is part of who you are. It is part of the gift that you bring. Does that help?
It does help. Yeah, it does help. I sometimes feel like when I'm so empty that I feel like no matter what I do, I can't get back to, the gas tank's so empty that I just can't even seem to get it up, because then I have to function in life. And, so sometimes I feel like, wow, I don't even know how to recharge, but.
And so at those moments, and they will be less and less.
Okay.
But when they happen, simply say, I need help, meaning inside yourself, to ask for that infusion of love and light, to allow that soul connection through higher self, certainly so, but then to also spend time in the temple of soul, or even in this meditation from today, to allow your soul to come as a beam of light that fills you, brings more than what you gave away.
Mm-hmm.
For there is that template of service in your world. There is that template that says, well, you should just give as much as you have. Give, 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 give. And we know that that's not what you intend. But it's easy to fall into that, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
easy to just give the energy, give the energy, give the, and it feels really good at first because you have plenty to give. And so those are the times when it's right to give. But when you feel, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling a little weaker here. Is that, am I giving too much at this moment? Do I need to pull myself back? You will be more sensitive, more attuned to those moments now that we've been talking with you about it, and your perceptions are more open. So there is that template of service that you can disconnect from. And
Oh,
that doesn't mean that you stop being of service, but you
right.
stop being that form that has a requirement of giving more than you have.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Thank you so much. Totally makes sense.
Certainly so. And as you know, this is in this evening, what you share is relevant to many here. And so to know that you are giving them a gift with your vulnerability. And we thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we love you so. All right. And who is next?
Tara, hello, it's Francis.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Well, first of all, what a magical and wonderful um, meditation that was. Thank you so much.
Sir,
And the weekend was spectacular.
in,
Wow.
indeed, it was.
It was just wonderful. Um, I am trying to make that transition from this current reality into the new reality. And I go through a little bit of depression about it. And I go through a little disappointment and sadness over it. And I don't know if that's grief that I'm letting go of the past, or if it's just that I'm feeling like I'm not enough sometimes.
All right. And so it's a combination. We would say that certainly so. When one changes from one form into another, and it's not as though tomorrow you are in the new world fully. This is a process, and the new world will come in bits, so to speak, as you dream them, as you dream more and more of the new world into being. It's not going to be one quick shift. However, being in that resonance of dominion requires letting go of some of which has been familiar. So, for some of you, the way that you maintained your safety and security may have been through a dominating energy or control, perhaps even to push people away, to be alone. You may have decided things about yourself, negative things, that you're not good enough, that you'll never be strong. We're speaking to John here. He's working on, well, I told myself I never want to be the masculine energy that the chauvinism required. I'd rather be weak than hurt people. So he's having to deal with, what did that mean? What was that decision he made? So for you, Francis, there was also a decision around, well, I'm going to use humor to deflect people. Along the way, you discovered that humor is part of your soul.
Yes.
And so it's about discernment, isn't it? So in John's case, the new masculine energy that he's working with, that's integrated with the feminine. He's a wonderful example of masculine energy that has a gentleness to it, that has compassion, that has healing as a gift. And yet he tells himself he's weak. And it makes no sense to those who know him. But deep inside of him, he feels weak because of what his father told him. Because he wasn't like his father, and he wasn't willing to be like his father. And so as you within yourself also look to, what were you told about who you are as a man? What were you told you had to be that got in the way, but that you've healed and changed so very much as your spiritual adult self has a balanced masculine and feminine energy? So there is grief, there is that letting go of the old. And with that old was some sense, false sense of security, that it kept you safe. It was a survival mechanism that was devised by a 2-year-old or even a 13 or 15-year-old. Do you really want your future to be reliant on those strategies?
Oh, no.
Exactly. They only made sense at those ages. They don't make sense anymore. And each of you have healed so very much. And part of it is to recognize that in some cases, it took longer than you wanted. In some cases, there's still more to do. And that makes you sad. There is that sense of indebtedness, which we talked with you about.
Yes.
Oh, if I had just forgiven myself sooner. Now that I'm on the other side of it, I see that I could have been done with some of this sooner. However, be careful not to go into self-pity and martyrhood about it. Be careful that you don't judge yourself for how long it's taking, because time is an illusion, truly so. And the judgments do not help. They simply put a lid on something so that you have to take more time to work your way through it. So allow yourself the grace of knowing you're on track. And the best that you can do is good enough. You are enough. And you are each here to grow and to be who you truly are. And that is becoming easier and easier because of the maps you are all making. As map maker magicians, you are paving the way for your world to be who they are. And as you know, that dominion is a reality where each and every one of you are valued for what you bring, for who you are. That is the dream. That is the next step for human consciousness, for humanity. Not to be the same, but to stand in your value, to value yourselves and the individual grace, the unique soul energy that you bring. For each of you are of God and Goddess. Does that help?
Oh, it always does. Talking to you always does, Tara. Thank you so very, very much.
Wonderful. We love you so.
It's Barbara here.
Yes, dear one. Where do we
Hello.
begin?
I mentioned that dream I had last night where I came home and everything was gone. It was stolen, including my furniture. All that was left were the white walls of the apartment. And the other part of that dream was there was something on my front step that I was supposed to give to a neighbor. But the main dream was, where did everything go? This is terrible. Complete loss. Couldn't figure it out, of course.
Yes. And so you mentioned theft. Did you have a sense it was taken from you or was it disappeared?
It was stolen.
All right. And so that is a very different energy, isn't it, than loss?
Yes.
Yes. So as you allow yourself to, we sense it as a warning from the lesser self. The lesser self is worried, is anxious because you are changing so much. And so as you take a moment to see what aspect of self is most threatened by the changes, would it be your child or your adolescent?
Oh, I would have to think about that. I don't know. The first thing that came to mind is my current adult self.
Well, certainly so, but not your spiritual adult.
No, it's just, all right, hard to answer that question.
Yes, but the sense, the part of you that has had quick and sudden change, as you look to what period of life would you say had the quickest, most sudden change that took you by surprise and cost you a sense of self or a sense of control?
Well, any change I can think of was good. Right off the top of my head.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's, yeah, I guess I would have to delve into that question.
So that's the arena to look in, is to say, because what's happened this weekend, as your perceptions are expanded, as you gathered energies in the imaginal realm to dream new dreams, as you blended with your optimal future self to really get a sense of that new world of dominion. As you compare where you're heading with where you have been, look to see what was lost or denied you. And we would say it's in the context of the chauvinism. So was it the feminine energy, the gentleness, the nurturing energy, or was it more in the masculine, where the masculine wasn't allowed to be? And to look in that arena of that sense, wait a minute, I thought I had what I wanted. And now I'm learning that it was stolen. And I have to get it back.
I think I know it was stolen.
Yes.
But it's all current time. I can tell you it's in the present, so I may not be getting to the bottom of it.
Okay.
Shall I tell you?
If you would like.
Well, the whole world has changed in the past 2 years. And basically, I'll just speak for myself. Our way of life has totally changed. And the environment in which we operate has changed. I think there's more structure and more threatening from the outside. It doesn't feel as safe. And I feel the country is, well, it's just kind of, it's threatened too. It's from within. So it's just very hard. It's like the world is kind of falling apart in a way, my world or our world.
Absolutely.
Different. Everything's different now in the past 2 years.
Yes, we would agree. And so what is the next step?
It's a feeling of out of control. Like, oh my gosh, what happened? I'm out of control. I can't figure this out. I can usually figure everything out, but I cannot now.
Well, part of the plan, it is not so much a plan, but part of what is happening is the chaos is deconstructing the old forms that no longer serve you. So the chauvinism, the control, the dominating energies, they're coming into question. They're being broken apart so that something new can emerge, something that allows you to be more free. So you can't see it yet because you're in the chaos of it. But in the chaos, there are the two energies, the creator and the destroyer. And so as you look to see what message is your unconscious mind giving you around what needs to be destroyed in order to make way for the new. And that is a very tough question. It tends to destabilize because, of course, what is security is what's known, is where you have come from, your history, your experiences, your memories, even. And even in this case, in your dream, the belongings that you chose, that you decorated your home with. And so it really is destabilizing. And yet the opportunity in the dream is that you have a clean slate.
True.
And so as you look to see, okay, so what am I resisting letting go of that my unconscious mind says, let's start with a clean slate.
I just know that it was a feeling of, I'm out of control. I can't control this at all. And I liked the way you said chaos is destruction and construction. I don't know if that was the word you used, but both
Creation.
of those are elements, creation.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
But
And
when you're
that's
in the
really what the
destruction,
belief is about. It's important to destroy what doesn't serve anymore. It can be beliefs, it can be ideas, it can be dreams that no longer serve, that you may have had in your adolescence, or even your young adult self may have had certain dreams, but they don't serve the you are becoming. And as you look to see, well, what was it about the world I'm in that has kept me from being who I am? What are the beliefs? What are the structures? What are the expected behaviors, even, that I have been able to manage, able to create around? But if I were free of them, I could be more. I could be more of me. I would truly be free. And so to look in that arena.
okay, thank you.
Wonderful. And the package.
That was the other. What was that about?
Well, you do have influence. You have friends who rely on you. And sometimes you have messages for them. And so to trust that it is important to share your wisdom.
Something I needed to deliver
Yes.
to that person. And
it's a package because it's not for you, it's for someone else.
yes.
Package of energy, you might say.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Certainly so. We love you so. And know that the changes are working within you, and they will manifest. As you dream your dreams, your world changes. Wonderful. All right, then. And so we'll go for now. We thank each and every one of you for your participation.
Thank you so much.
Love and peace. Until
Thank
next.
you, Tara. Thank you.
You.
Thank you, Tara.
Tara.
Thank you, Tara.